Okay, hi, so this is Biology Form 4 with Teacher Gwen, Chapter 11, new chapter, Biology Form 4, Immunity in Humans. Okay, 11.1, Body Defense. So before this, during Form 2, you have learned about Body Defense System. So ini masanya untuk kamu recall balik apa yang kamu sudah belajar masa kamu Form 2. Okay, Form 2. The body defense system react with pathogen, infect the body. Okay, kita punya sistem pertahanan badan ini akan bertindak apabila ada pathogen yang infect our body. So what is pathogen? Pathogen ini, in short, kita boleh panggil dia adalah microorganism yang jahat, bad microorganism yang boleh menyebabkan penyakit. Okay, pathogen is a microorganism that causes diseases. Example can be bacteria, can be virus or parasite. Okay, pathogen can only cause diseases if they successfully infect our body cells. The body system, our body defense system, recognizes pathogen as a foreign particles known as antigen. So pathogen adalah antigen, iaitu foreign particles yang cuba masuk ke dalam badan kita, Okay, so antigen, okay, antigen is any foreign particles recognized by our body. Okay, antigens are foreign particles that enter the body and subsequently stimulate the immune response. So apabila antigen berjaya masuk ataupun foreign particles berjaya masuk ke dalam badan kita, so apa yang terjadi itu akan merangsang kita punya immune response, stimulate our immune response. Antigens will stimulate the lymphocyte to produce antibodies. Okay, antibodies perlu dihasilkan untuk destroy antigen tersebut. Okay, so bila antigen masuk ke dalam badan kita, itu akan merangsang penghasilan antibodies by the lymphocyte. Okay, remember what is lymphocyte? Itu adalah types of sel darah putih, white blood cell kan? Okay, antibodies are protein found on the lymphocyte surface or protein released by the lymphocyte into our blood plasma. Okay, so the interaction between antibodies and antigen that cause antigen to be destroyed is called immune response. Okay, immune response. So kena tahu istilah-istilah ini ya, terms ini sangat penting. Make sure kamu tahu what is antigen, what is antibodies, what is immune response. Okay, so immune response itu adalah interaction di antara antibodies and antigen. Okay, the antibodies will destroy the antigen. Itu adalah immune response. Immunity pula adalah kita punya kebolehan badan kita untuk fight infection. Okay, immunity is the ability of body to fight infection caused by pathogen ataupun foreign substance lah. Okay, so there are 3 lines of defense to fight against diseases in our body. Ingat ada 3 pertahanan. Begitu juga dengan kalaulah kamu bayangkan peperangan, ada barisan hadapan, ada barisan belakang, betul kan? So begitu juga dengan our body defense system, ada 3 lines. Okay, the first line of defense, the second lines of defense, and the third lines of defense. So we will look into details these 3 lines of defense. Okay, so figure 11.1 di sini, this is interaction between antibodies and antigen. So yang Y shape di sini adalah antibody. This is the antigen one yang pink di sini. So the antibody will dia akan attack itu antigen lah, destroy the antigen. Okay, so the first lines of defense consist of physical and chemical line up that prevent pathogen from entering the body. So ingat di sini first line ini adalah untuk supaya pathogen itu tidak berjaya masuk ke dalam badan kita. Okay, so dia boleh physical ataupun chemical. Okay, so di sini kamu kena ingat the first lines of defense are not specific. Maksudnya dia tidak spesifik. Dia sama sahaja, pertahanan dia sama sahaja untuk semua jenis pathogen. Okay, dia tidak spesifik. For example, jenis pathogen jenis A dia punya pertahanan begini. Tidak. This is not specific. So dia punya defense itu sama sahaja untuk semua jenis patogen. Faham ah? Okay. So kita ada beberapa contoh. Okay, this is lysozyme, mucous membrane di sini. This is blood clotting. Ini adalah stomach, hydrochloric acid in stomach, and also our skin. So kita tengok satu-satu. The first one here is lysozyme. Lysozyme ini adalah sejenis protein ataupun sejenis enzim. Okay. Okay. Lysozyme adalah sejenis enzim, okay, di mana found in our tears, okay, nasal mucus, our saliva, okay. This is a type of protein. Okay, lysozyme is a type of protein atau enzyme that can dissolve and destroy some types of bacteria. So sangat penting kita punya air mata itu. Okay, air mata kita mengandungi lysozyme. Okay, dia boleh destroy some types of bacteria. Second one is mucous membrane. Mucous membrane that lines the respiratory tract will secrete a sticky fluid called mucus. Mucus also contain lysozyme that destroy bacteria found in the air that enter our respiratory system. Okay, and then this one, ini adalah mechanisms of blood clotting. The blood clotting mechanisms also prevent bacteria from entering through our wounds. Okay? Entering through wounds di sini. Luka kita. Kalau tidak ada blood clotting mechanism, kita punya darah itu akan terus mengalir keluar. Kemudian bacteria juga akan masuk, penetrate kita punya skin. Faham ah? Melalui luka kita. So, di sini ada mechanism of blood clotting. And then, this one, this is stomach. Stomach contain HCl, hydrochloric acid. Dia boleh destroy bacteria that present in food and drink yang kita sudah telan masuk ke dalam perut. Okay? Kemudian skin. Ini lagi skin. This is physical barrier ataupun physical defense, prevent the entry of pathogen because our skin is tough and it's difficult for microorganism to penetrate through it. Okay. Lagi satu, our skin continuous shedding of our skin dead cell. Okay, sebab kita punya skin itu, kulit kita sentiasa bertukar, betul kan? Sel yang mati diganti dengan yang baru. Okay, so this will difficult lah for various types of microorganism to grow. Continuous, because of the continuous shedding of the dead cell of our skin lah, skin surface. Okay, act as a chemical shield through the secretions of sebum. Okay, so our skin also secretes sebum. Sebum ini adalah oily substance. Okay, oily substance, oil and acid in the sebum prevent the growth of various types of microorganism. Selepas itu kita juga our skin also secrete a sweat, kan, berpeluh. So our sweat contain lysozyme. So this lysozyme kita sudah sebut tadi, ini adalah sejenis enzim that will break down the cell wall of some bacteria. So ini adalah first line of defense. So ingat, first lines of defense can be physical or chemical. Dan dia adalah untuk prevent the pathogen to enter our body. Okay? And dia tidak spesifik, not specific. Okay, the second line of defense. Okay, second line of defense is fever, demam, phagocytosis, and inflammation. Okay, inflammation, keradangan. The mechanism of second line of defense is also not specific. Sama macam yang first line, dia tidak specific juga. Dia tidak specific. So the first one, first example, fever. Fever is the second line of defense mechanism that fight infections. Fever increases the phagocytic activity and fight against microorganism that infect the body. Okay, so sebelum ini kamu sudah pernah dengar apa itu phagocytosis, kan? Okay, phagocytosis. Okay, so sebenarnya bila kita sakit selama ini, bila kita sakit, kita demam, okay, sebenarnya fever itu adalah salah satu defense kita punya badan. Okay, so maksudnya bila kita sakit, kita demam, itu adalah normal. Sebab itu adalah salah satu cara defense, second line of defense. Okay. Seterusnya adalah phagocytosis. The phagocyte is a leukocyte. Leukocyte, kita punya sel darah putih, white blood cell, that can carry out phagocytosis. Neutrophils and monocytes are phagocytes. Okay, so phagocytosis is the process which microorganisms or other particles such as dead cells are trapped and digested by phagocytes. Okay, when an infection occurs, the phagocytes move to the infected area and enter the tissue fluid through the pores of the capillary wall. When the phagocyte encounters a pathogen, the phagocyte will engulf, dia telan pathogen tersebut, and the lysozyme in the phagocyte, dia akan digest pathogen tersebut. Okay, so kita tengok balik stages of phagocytosis. Ini phagocytosis. If this is the bacterium, okay, ini adalah bakteria, kita punya pathogen lah, kita punya pathogen. So yang pink ini adalah phagocyte. Okay, phagocyte lah, iaitu apa ini? Our white blood cell lah kan. Okay, phagocyte extend its pseudopodium, this one pseudopodium ni, towards the bacterium, and then dia involves the bacteria. So dia telan lah kan, dia engulf, dia telan. So bacterial ingestion form phagosome. So di sini dia form phagosome. So lepas dia ditelan, dia jadi phagosome. Okay, so di sini dia ada lysosome. Phagocyte ini ada lysosome. Lysosome itu contain itu enzim lysozyme. Okay, so step 3, phagosome tadi combine with the lysosome. Okay, lysosome, remember dia secrete enzim lysozyme. So sekarang bila dia bergabung, dia jadi phagolysosome. Okay, phagolysosome. Okay, number 4, bacterium in the phagosome is destroyed by the lysozyme, enzyme lysozyme. Okay, so the bacterium decompose. So now the phagocyte, dia akan keluarkan atau expels the remains of the digested microorganism out of the cells. So ini adalah stages in phagocytosis. Proses telan dan keluarkan, begitu. Okay, in a simple word. Okay, seterusnya adalah another second line, okay, of defense, inflammation. Okay, inflammation is the immediate response that destroys and neutralizes harmful actions of microorganisms and toxins at the early stage of infection. The inflamed area will swell, turn red, and feel painful. Selalunya bila kita luka, okay, for example di sini tercucuk paku, kaki terpijak paku, for example. So terus sahaja kita punya area of inflamed area itu akan swell, turn red, feel painful. Semua itu adalah inflammation. Okay, so this is our skin. This is the infected area. So infected area, bila dia infected, ada luka, bakteria cuba untuk masuk. Okay, bacteria atau pathogen cuba untuk masuk melalui kita punya wound ataupun luka itu. So the damaged tissue release histamine. Histamine will stimulate an immediate inflammatory response. Okay, so histamine di sini, histamine will cause the blood capillary to expand for more blood to flow to the infected area. Okay, histamine also increases the permeability of blood capillary to phagocytes. The phagocytes and clotting factor will accumulate in the infected area. So the blood clotting mechanism is triggered. So yang terjadi adalah blood clotting mechanism akan berlaku lah. Okay, so the phagocyte ni phagocyte will carry out the phagocytosis process yang seperti ini tadi untuk telan semua bakteria-bakteria yang cuba untuk masuk melalui luka kita tadi. Begitu. So ini adalah inflammation. Ini juga adalah jenis an example of second line of defense. Second line of defense. Seterusnya adalah third line of defense. Okay, third line of defense yang ini adalah apabila patogen berjaya masuk, berjaya mengalahkan the first line of defense, second line of defense. Okay, so di sini the third line of defense will be activated. Okay, so the third line of defense is the immune response of the lymphocyte. So di sini akan ada antibody yang dihasilkan. Okay, the lymphocyte form in the lymph node produce antibodies. The actions of antibodies are specific. So remember, the third line of defense adalah specific. Maksudnya, setiap antibody yang dihasilkan itu adalah spesifik kepada patogen tertentu sahaja. Okay. For example, antibody A, dia akan lawan antigen A, for example. Antibody B, dia lawan antigen B sahaja, seperti itu. Itu maksud dia spesifik. Okay? Each type of antibody can only combine with certain types of antigen. When a person is infected with pathogen, a large number of lymphocytes will accumulate in the lymph nodes to destroy the antigen and the foreign particles. This will cause the lymph nodes to swell. The lymph nodes also contain macrophages that destroy bacteria, dead tissues, and foreign particles through phagocytosis. So lymphocyte terbahagi kepada dua, divided into two types, T lymphocyte and also B lymphocyte. Okay, B lymphocyte. So the T lymphocyte, okay, T lymphocyte di sini. Okay, T lymphocyte. Okay. T lymphocyte, dia attack cells infected by pathogens. Okay, the T lymphocyte stimulate B lymphocyte to produce memory cell. Okay, B lymphocyte to produce memory cell. So memory cell, apa maksud memory cell ni? When the same pathogen attacks us the second time, the memory cell will be stimulated to produce antibodies immediately. Okay, kalau sebelum ini, before this dia attack for the first time. Lymphocyte itu, T lymphocyte akan attack cell infected by the pathogen, and then the T lymphocyte also stimulate the B lymphocyte to produce memory cell. So when we are attacked for the second time, attack for the second time of the same pathogen attack us for the second time, so the memory cell tadi akan stimulated to produce antibodies immediately. So dia punya symptom of the infection itu adalah kurang daripada yang first one tadi. Okay. Di sini we have, this is antigen. Okay, nampak ini ya, ini adalah antigen. So yang Y shape di sini adalah antibody. Okay, this one is antigen receptor site, di mana itu antibody attach dengan antigen tersebut. Okay, if this is our lymphocyte, dia akan produce antibody. Yang Y shape itu adalah antibody. So dia ada receptor site, antigen receptor site, di mana dia akan attach kepada antigen tersebut. Okay. Actions of antibodies. Antigen are destroyed by antibodies through several mechanisms. Okay, so the first one, agglutination. Okay, ini adalah cara bagaimana antibody destroy antigen. The first one, agglutination. Antibodies coagulate the pathogen and make them an easy target to be trapped and destroyed by phagocytes. So kalau kita lihat di sini, antigen yang warna pink, yang Y shape biru itu antibody. So antibody dia akan coagulate. Dia akan attach dengan antigen sampai dia jadi begini, menggumpal. Okay, so ini akan menyenangkan kerja phagocytes untuk destroy antigen tersebut ataupun pathogen tersebut. Faham ah? The second one is neutralization. Antibody bind with toxins produced by bacteria and neutralize the toxin. So di sini, this is antibody, this is toxin produced by bacteria. So antibody itu dia terus bind with the toxin and neutralize the toxin. Okay, itu neutralization. And then seterusnya adalah precipitation. Antibodies react with dissolved antigens to form an insoluble complex ataupun precipitate that is easily destroyed by phagocytes. So this one, this is antigen molecule. So apa yang terjadi adalah antibody react with the antigen, dia akan form precipitate, okay, so that phagocyte easily destroy the antigen in the form of insoluble complex. Seterusnya adalah opsonization. Di sini opsonization, antibodies combine with antigen and act as a marker for phagocytes to recognize the antigens and destroy them. So di sini we have bacterium and this is the antigen. So what happened is the antibody combine with the antigen and the antibody act as marker for the phagocyte to recognize the antigen and terus dia destroy. Terus dia melaksanakan the phagocytosis process lah. Okay? So the phagocyte di sini trap the bacterium that has been identified by the antibody marker. Itu opsonization. Seterusnya adalah lysis. So kalau lysis kita tahu sudah, dia punya keyword lysis adalah breakdown, pecah. So antibodies combine with antigen and cause bacteria to be broken down and decompose. Di sini, this is lysine antibody. Dia combine with the antigen. This is the bacterium. Yang hijau ni bacterium, yang kuning-kuning itu adalah antigen on the surface of the bacterium. So antibody dia combine terus kepada antigen tersebut dan itu akan menyebabkan bakteria itu broken down. Dia undergo lysis lah, decomposition. Okay? So itu adalah actions of antibodies on antigens. So we will continue next class or next video. Right? Thank you.